Hi you guys, I'm gonna paint this little forest gnome for you today. I'll show the example here. Really cute. Now once again, I've done an exhaustive search. Who owns this? So I'd like to avoid any and all copyright problems. I'm sure some really smart person, a really talented person, drew this, and I would like to pay them my respects. I'm going to start with the filbert, which is one of these round tipped. I'm going to start with this hat. The last time I painted this, I started with the background, and I'm just going to see if this isn't easier. I'm going to take the filbert and go along the edge of the brim of his hat. Now, I suppose I should be changing the color of this hat since I don't know the artist. In the business, you're supposed to do, you can be inspired, but to downright copy, they prefer you do something called Frankensteining, where you are simply inspired, but you come up with a whole new piece of art, basically. So, however many gnomes have been painted in the forest, anyway, we're going to paint this guy today. He's got a little blue bonnet, little blue bunting bird, little robin I called it originally, on his hat. And it's just the cutest little bird. I'm going to go over those branches and I'll be able to figure all that out. When we go to fill that in, I'm going to try and make that edge as nice and solid and finite as I can. Can blend it in the hat, of course. This tip of this brush is not very tight. Sometimes it even pays, if you're using a tracer like I am, to outline some of the intricate details that you would hate to have covered and lose, or just have to retrace. But doing my best to not cover all of it, to be able to see some of what was drawn in. I think I'm capable of drawing in a branch in case I cover it to the point where I can't recover it. It's not a big deal. And, you know, that's taken me a few months to really get into that mindset where I'm comfortable enough to say that yeah, hey, I could draw that, I could fix that. I didn't do that at first. No, 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 no. I had no idea. The only painting I had ever done in my life, in which, yes, I did a lot of it, but not with a brush. We painted with tubes of paint. It was called Artex, or Trichem. It was also stamped out onto a fabric, like Pellon or something like that. It was our neighbor when I was growing up was the district manager, and her entire basement was full of Tricam paints and projects, and I have to say that's probably where the itch started to be creative. Virginia Brown was not only our neighbor, she was also district manager for the Trichem Corporation, or at that point it was known as Artex. District manager in Illinois anyway. Probably Chicago offices. She was also my piano teacher and my first grade teacher's sister-in-law. And they, like I said, were neighbors. So, you know, we were in close proximity, like a small community, when I was growing up. I grew up on 97 acres of land. We were in suburbia prior to that, Riverside, Illinois. My dad was working for WLS at the time. I just want to tell you a little bit about this color I'm using. I really dig it. It's Pueblo from Folk Art, Deco Art. It's a folk art brand. Excuse me, Deco. I'm mostly buying Deco now. Mainly because of my membership, I get a kick-ass price. So that's nice. And as you can see, when this first went on, it's not going on all that dark. But that's okay, because my second layer, I can use it as my shading. See that? Use it as my shading. Okay. So, it's not like when I say I grew up on 97 acres that we had a whole lot of money. Because that would not be the truth. My father worked in radio, and then he trained to be an insurance salesman. And he studied and took the test 4 times to be a broker for insurance. My father was a very, very smart man. That brokerage test about took him out, though. Oh, man. That was hard on him. Because it was a hard test. There's a lot to know to be insurance. And, yeah, you just really need to know your stuff. We were very fortunate living there on all that property. We started paying, you're not going to believe this, but it's the truth. I swear to God. My father paid Harry Espenscheid $90 a month to live in a 5-bedroom farmhouse on 97 acres of land. We moved in 1960, and my parents finally sold in 1992 and downsized to a different house. At one point in the 73, 74 era, when Harry was coming around to now subdivide that 97 acres, see, that's how we got it so cheap. He had plans. He raised the rent to $5 to $95. And then he made my dad an offer when he started the subdivision.